As a nation, we have a habit of coming across as pretty dumb, which has never really made sense to me as we have boasted some of the best and brightest figures in history since our inception in 1776. I mean, we created Facebook, the automobile, the telephone. We've created a lot, but despite this, despite all these great people and great inventions and greatness that we exude, our government sucks. I mean, especially in the last 20 years, it's proven to be quite ineffective. Our people are continually polarized. We argue over everything. We've struggled with the same social, economic, and just plain old philosophical differences as our grandparents have. We don't solve very much. And a lot of this can be attributed to what I feel is that the American spirit of constant bettering yourself and leaving others in the dirt often overlooks the importance of educating the youth. And this can be seen in our government, who continually overlooks the Department of Education, which it created, but according to the Department of Education's own website, only contributes about 8% to schooling in the nation. And it's not always like this. Some leaders have respected education more. According to the 32nd President of the United States of America, Franklin D. Roosevelt, in an article written by him on Education Week in September 27th, 1938 to teachers, democracy cannot succeed unless those who express their choice are prepared to choose wisely. Therefore, the education is a true safeguard to democracy. Now, what this means is that in a society such as ours, that is run by a democratic government, the government is directly representative of the people. Therefore, a more educated people means a more educated government. And to put it plainly, I want to say we come across as dumb, but we are definitely uneducated. And for me, the solution to this that I present to you is that kind of ironically, in order to fix this problem, we have to further federalize our school systems. Even though our government kind of sucks, we're going to have to brave through it and federalize this systems, taking the power away from the state and local governments who are just as bad as our federal government, and push through and try to further educate our children. Because a better educated society, in theory, is obviously a better society. Education has direct links to better economy, a better social standing, and even the statistics prove it. According to the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, it's a mouthful, so the OECD for short, the U.S. is the second most spender on education. Now, where do these funds go? I don't know much. That being said, despite spending the second most across all tested fields, we are mediocre at best. Our math scores are way below the average across the nations who participated in this. And in other areas, we perform slightly above average, which is not good enough to be spending so much and getting such little gain. That is another reason why we must go through these drastic reforms. And not only that, but our education system has a habit of further exacerbating these social economic disparities we see in our nation. Poor students, minority students often receive a worse education than those of better standing or of a different skin color. And this is a problem. The first step in a fair education for all children is viewing them all as equal. And this is another reason why I feel that a federalized education system where every state, every town, every city has the same standard and the same curriculum would further help to equalize our students. Because a uniform society, just in the education level, I know this is a pretty radical change, but to keep it on the education level means that we would all either float or sink, and the odds of us floating are a lot better because we do have these great people, despite our government not working very well. We do have these great people, and I think if education is pushed, it would get better. Now, if we don't federalize the government, the world's not going to end. But America's reign as the #1 nation in the world, if you see it that way, but we definitely are a world power, may come to an end because the status quo will continue. Our downward trend will continue. Our image will continue to bleed and bleed until there is nothing salvageable left. And that image is mostly what power is. And as the saying goes, knowledge is power. Well, if nobody respects that power, then what use is that knowledge? So that is why we must make this change quick. We must federalize it and increase our knowledge. Education is important. So if the status quo remains, not much will change, and we'll continue to evaporate. Our image will continue to hurt, and we will lose our foothold on the world. That being said, again, it's not like a lot of us are going to become politicians, so what can you do to help boost education? You ain't got to go this radical, but I would encourage you to vote education first, put that on your foresight, and just have it in your mind to try and help better our youth education. Thank you.